I would, before we start off, I would request everybody to mute themselves and also switch off their camera. Uh, I would also ask people not to share their screen. We can see somebody is being sharing their screen. Uh, Please, if you, I would request you to not to share the screen. I would request again, except our eminent speakers, I would request everybody to switch off their videos. Uh, think Chef Mayank, if you can switch off your video, please. Switch off your video. Even Chef, even Mr. Sunil Shah, if you can switch off your video. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Again, a warm welcome to everybody. Thank you for taking out your time to be part of our webinar on innovation for delivery model. Before we start off, it would be a quite a long session over the next 2 years, 2 hours, and I'm sure y'all would enjoy it. But before we start off, I would request everybody to again keep their microphone off and also switch off your videos. It would be better that if we can all use earphones, because so that we can avoid certain disturbance that is happening. In case if you wish to ask any question or ask a questions to us or the various speakers, please drop your message in the message box, which is on your right hand side panel. To do this, if you see there is a message icon, you can tap on that and then go and write the message with your name and whom you would like to ask the question. And we will answer you back. We or the speakers would answer you back. Uh, any clarification or any doubt at this moment, if you all have with any kind of technology, there is a number which is there on the presentation, as well as we've sent you through the calendar request. You can contact us on that. You can WhatsApp us on that, and we will let you know and help you out in the most possible way. So, okay, so we are good to start now. Yes, and before again, I welcome each and everyone to this webinar. And before I start, I would request all the eminent speakers to be on the video, and I would introduce them, each of them. Okay, so we have Chef Richard Relly, who is a senior director culinary from Custom Culinary, Global Custom Culinary team. Thank you, Chef, for joining. He's joining from Chicago and it's very early morning. So thank you, Chef, for joining at this hour. Much appreciated. We also have Mr. K.S. Narayan with us, who is one of a strategic advisor for food and beverage companies. And I think we all know him very well. I don't think that there is any introduction required. So we have another gentleman, Mr. Jaspal Chadda, who is the founder of Pin Balochi, who doesn't also require much introduction. So he is also part of our eminent speaker panel, and he's going to throw light on how inspiring home delivery, rather online delivery can be. We have Chef Dishank Arora, and he is the brand chef of Shetwala Foods. He's also the founder of Nothing But Chicken. He is here to also share a lot of experience, and I'm sure you all will gain a lot of experience through his presentation too. Then we have Raj Joshi, who's a digital expert, and he's a founder of a digital agency called Let's Talk Communication. And we thought that at this point, that while we talk about how our menus should be, how innovative you should be on your delivery model, there should be a way how you should promote your brand on the online platform. So Raj would take us through that. Beside this, from Custom Culinary India team, we have Chef Nitin Puri, who's a director culinary. So all your culinary requirements, he can always answer you back, but here he will come with a lot of innovative ideas. And myself, Samita, who have been speaking to you for the last 5-10 minutes, is I head the marketing for Griffith Foods, India, Middle East. And I'll be your MC for today as well as speaker for a part to show you how inspiration is home delivery and online delivery business. So we'll start in a minute.
Samita, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, can you everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
Amita.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I would request if somebody has unmuted themselves, please mute yourself so that we can smoothly take it ahead. While, sorry, I went on mute. Sorry, as we see, this is the agenda of the webinar, and we are going to talk about the hot topic today is that what should be the delivery model specifically in terms of online. We understand that fact that this is the need of the hour, right from because of the consumers' demand are changing, their preferences are changing. As operators, we should be aware of what we should be doing in terms of the menu development, in terms of the menu, in terms of the innovations that we need to do, till the point that how it is being delivered to the consumers in the right fashion. So we're going to take you through in each and every steps. Also, there would be, as I mentioned, that the speakers would be sharing their experiences, that how you can bring in this model alive with your restaurants or your hotels and whatever kind of formats that you have. So I'm going to take you through what is the new normal in India, that is online delivery. And to start off, we know that this is a pandemic situation. Uh, Okay. So to start off, we know that what is the situation right now. It is the COVID situation that is there, and for which there has been, consumers are forced to adopt to the changes. The changes is in a good way, but when we talk about the changes, what does the consumers have to say? The consumers today are very anxious. They need a lot of reassurance, and they need that kind of a stabilization. To do this, what they want to see, they are going back to the basics in terms of whether it be comfort food, which is with innovation, or any kind of things, because today the need of the hour is that should be basic. The last but not the least is physically distant, and as we are all aware of being the social, will be in the social distancing. But the fact is that emotionally we to get together. Uh, of course, we are working from home, or we are with our family, spending more time with family while we work from home. So yes, there is an emotional connect. So as a brand, whether you be the operators or suppliers like us, or the consumers, you need to reorient your brand accordingly, and that's what the consumers ask is. So though the consumer sentiment says that what we should do right at this moment, some consumers says that wait and watch what the changes is going to come in, what is the new normal. But they do still believe heart of heart that the economy will recover very, very quickly. And as you see this in this data, that India, consumers in India feel that India would recover as soon as possible. So what has the impact been? We've seen that we've understood from a couple of understandings that we do with our research partners, we've understood that 51% of consumers report shifts. There has been a shift in their buying attitudes, in their preference level, and it is more profoundly towards food. And the shift is towards the good, shift is towards the nice, and which we will see in the couple of next slides. While we talk about the consumers and the sentiments and the shift, what has been the emerging segments? So we have seen that there has been few emerging segments, and if you see in the quadrants, in the four quadrants, the extreme quadrant where the most optimistic people lies are the youth. They say that yes, this situation we will overcome, and they are confident that fact that the shift is happening for good. The shift will happen to be there for a longer and a better time. Even the calculated and confident couples are also going towards that shift, and so are the supportive women. So the shift is in a good direction. While definitely we understand the families are anxious at this point of time, so but they would also soon shift towards the most important quadrant on the top of the chart that we see. As we said that today's consumers and mostly the youth are very confident, they're optimistic. It is the millennials who would drive this shift. And we see that 82% of consumers are spending more time on online since the COVID has happened. We were talking about the shift, and this is the shift that is going to happen if you see in the times. So yes, online delivery or online platforms will be the light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't need to repeat this because we are all aware of the fact. But when we talk of this fact, where does the shift comes in? And interestingly, we saw the shift mostly comes from in the food and beverages and on the OTC products platform. But do you think that there was a real shift? I wouldn't say. We were all ordering online. We were all having smartphones to order. Therefore, but yes, there has been a drastic change. If you see pre-COVID, before the COVID hit into the market and India, 36% of consumers were putting their orders for food and beverage online, which has transitioned to 77%. So it has multiplied, and and I think that's a very big opportunity for us. Out of that 77%, 51% prefer to order online. The fact being, when they've asked, is because of the safety and plenty of options that they get in. So that's where the shift is happening. Now coming from the operators, and when we meet operators, operators means like you who have joined this a session, like any restaurant owners, any shadow kitchens or any others, how are they responding to it, or rather the QSRs. So here we see that how the QSRs are responding to it. Here are a few examples to show how they have responded to the consumer's behavior. The three things that is kept in mind is social distancing, that we were talking about, the physical distancing, health and hygiene, that's the most important thing that is there, and the last but not the least, the contactless service. So we see how Starbucks or McDonald's have changed their logo depending to make the consumers understand where we stand today. Some other examples where TGI Friday, whenever they address to the market and they go on the delivery, they also mention the temperature of the people. And even today's the Swiggies of the world, Zomatos, they all are adapting to this new normal. Some more examples here. About adapting. The adapting comes to the new normal, and that's the new normal that we are going to talk today, and over the next 2 hours that we have, and we're going to talk about this new normal and how we're going to address it together in the food industry. The new normal, as we talk, of course, it's because of the change in the consumer's behavior. And the consumer's behavior is because today, as I said, the emotional connect is there, more family time. People are spending more family together. No options of going out. We right now, whichever part of India we are, we really restrict ourselves at home to maintain the social distancing. And the option is with us is go virtual, whether you watch movies, whether you order food, or whether you go and order your dress for your kid. Or in fact, if you are doing a party, that's called a watch party on Facebook. So that's what we are also doing. So while we were understanding this, we at Griffith Foods India team as well as Middle East team, we did an understanding with the market, and we came to understand that 54% there has been an increase in family portion while consumers are ordering online. So that's quite a good understanding for each and everyone. So while the operators are designing their menus, they should design menus in terms of family portions. So that's a cue. But there are more to it. While we see from the operator's point of view, that is from your side, while we understand what are the key things that one should keep in mind. Aggressive merchandising and promotion tactics. While you have to be on the online space and you want to come on the online space, you should be aggressive in the way you would be promoting it. New no-touch food safety protocols and services, we all know about it. New streams of revenue, best-in-class partnerships and collaborative innovation, and last but not the least, and this is the most important, get adapted yourself to the new technology. So while we spoke about the 5 factors, I'll just quickly take you through that what one should keep in mind, and that would set the context of today's discussion as we go ahead. You will get to see all these points being covered in all our presentations way ahead. While we talk about merchandising and promotion tactics, it's not all about price. Here today, consumers are not looking into the price part. They're looking into the kind of value that you're giving, the kind of story that you're telling. You need to tell the story of how local you are, or what is the source, or if you have a sustainability story. That's the consumers today looking for, because today they're home, they have a lot of time to spend on even seeing the packaging that is coming at home. Family meals, as I mentioned, that the maximum being ordered on various platforms are family portions. So yes, one should keep in mind that that is on the right. Choose your menu well. That should be the most important one. Choose the menu not in the right way, but what can be delivered in the best possible way. And the other thing is meal kits. Today's consumers are also looking to have more homemade food. So why not give them options where you prepare something which is ready to cook, and it left up to the consumers to prepare it at home and give a finishing. Yes, and of course, the last but the least, no more free deliveries are also happening, and today's consumers don't mind to pay that if they get that restaurant experience at home. Uh, New no-touch food safety protocols, we are all mostly aware of the sanitization process and the hygiene factors. So we'll move to the next point, that is focus on simplifying operations. So restaurants need to refocus on their core menus or bring back the LTOs that were running. So you all must be, if you all are from various QSR segment, you all must be having LTOs. So why not bring them that? Because that would be the comforting for the consumers. Also, comfort food, which people can relate it, but bring with innovation. And that's where our discussion is heading towards. Bring in innovation, but with the existing comfort food. Also see reduction of SKUs. What do you mean when we talk about reduction of SKUs? Is not on the menu aspect. We say that keep your menus, keep your SKUs limited. Use your ingredients which can be used in multi-purpose so that you have less, there is, because the storage is an issue, labor is, if it is an issue, so that would help you to bring the value on the table. Of course, new technology, way of delivering should be the driver here. New streams of revenue. Just don't restrict your menus or think that that is only growing. Just don't restrict yourself for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There are various day parts where snacking can happen. People are ordering over the day. So try to bring in innovation in those aspects. And of course, meal kit is another opportunity. And last but not the least, partner with, bring in partnership or partner with suppliers who brings in best in class partnership and makes your innovation more collaborative way. So while everything is important, we funnel it down in focusing on the online delivery part. And we are going to see what are the big themes one should keep in mind as a chef, as the owner of a restaurant. One should keep in mind while you have this online delivery model. Number one, health and nutrition, or health and hygiene, as you would call it. That's one of the most important one. We see with the research and understanding that we did in-house, we understood that 70% of consumers prefer food which can boost health and immunity, and which is acting as a prime driver in purchase decisions. We've seen couple of menus across, and we see that people are mentioning as immunity booster drink, immunity booster rajma chawal, so on so forth. And I'm sure people would agree to me to this also. The second is we were talking of comfort, convenience food. So consumers look for convenient solution which can be delivered faster to them. They want that restaurant experience within minutes, within 45 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm sure they would like to have it on. Like today we were discussing amongst ourselves, and one of us was ordering food from outside, and he mentioned that no, the delivery said that it would take 1 hour. So he switched to a different resource. So that's what today's consumers are looking for. And of course, back to basics, is give the comfort food, but with a twist or with an innovation. So while we talk about the theme leads to trends, the trends that would help you to develop your menu, and wherein we as custom culinary can help you in building those menus as per the trends. I would request if there is somebody who's unmute himself or herself, if we can go on mute. Okay, so the trends. The first trend is immunity indulgence. As we saw that health and nutrition is driving, so immunity becomes a very, very important that consumers are looking in. I think in the past few weeks, we've seen more than 50 launches that has happened overweighs that in this category, whether it be in the consumer front or whether in the B2B space. Less customization from the consumer's aspect as well as the operators, which are simple, hassle-free and fast turnaround. And of course, we all know that we want to go local now, and people are looking for basic regional Indian food, but with a twist. People are likely to order khichdi also, but why not give a twist to it? Is that what we are recommending here? So as custom culinary, what are the solutions that can be given to you basis this trends? And I'll keep it very short. We have our chefs online also, and they are there to readily help you along with our sales team to give you more information. But while we talk of immunity, we said that it's very products that we have on the custom culinary. Most of our custom culinary products have either ginger, garlic, lemon or turmeric, which are supposed to be the immunity ingredients. But that didn't stop us from launching, and we recently launched 2 beverage mixes, turmeric latte and minty jaljeera, which I'm not going to talk much about it because there is some surprise element coming in the forthcoming slides. But yes, these are the ones that are very, very specific for your online delivery. You can package it well and ready in minutes, and you can serve it to your consumers in easy steps. While we talk about the trend, less customization and restaurant-like experience at home, when we talk about restaurant-like experience, it's mostly that consumers today order for snacking. As I said, that day parts are very important. There are a lot of consumers, for example, the IT employees, and I've heard from them that they order usually fried chicken, fried snacks and all, and they say that it should not get soggy. It should not get, we should get the same kind of experience that we'd have gone and eaten when we were out. So here is a crispiness delivered solution from our side. We have our R&D team is constantly working on the product, and we have a property called Stay Crisp. This is our own patent, which keeps the product crispy for a longer period of time, over 45 minutes, and once it is get delivered, it still remains that crunchy, makes that product remain crunchy when it is like a fried chicken. Also, we have various coating solutions that would keep the crispiness alive, and these are mainly for the snacking items. The next is solution based on the trends, and is where you look for less customization, but you want to move into back to basics, and that is regional. And what we saw is that I'm sure if we were live, most of the people would put up their hand for something which is called biryani. Everyone today is looking for biryani solutions, and we all know that even in biryani. And I was taking an example of today when I was talking to one of my colleagues, and he intended to order biryani. The biryani, the delivery said that it would take more than 1.5 hours, for which he shifted to another one who said that it will get you delivered in 35 minutes. So what is the Raz, or what is the mantra there? So we said that yes, to help that mantra, why not launch 3 biryanis, rather 2 biryani, Lucknowi biryani, Hyderabadi biryanis, and a classic fried rice, which is the need of the day. So do you know, the fact is that why we thought of launching it, and after discussing with consumers and as well as our customers, we understood that every 2 seconds 3 biryanis are being sold on online platform. And I'm just telling you, for everybody, it's just for one aggregator, and there are more other aggregators. So huge opportunities, and that brought us to make certain biryani seasonings that can help you to easy your steps. We did say that health and nutrition is focused, and consumers, 82% of consumers, while we were asking, have said that they need external advices from you as owners, restaurant owners, that what healthy eating they should do. While they want to have fried, while they don't want to compromise on their lunches, they would also like to compromise on their health. And that's we have a solution called Never Fry, which is bakeable, but yet gives you that fried kind of a feel. So we can talk on this later also, but just wanted to share with you, with the group, because y'all are here, that these are the solutions that we have. But apart from this, we also have various solutions, which we've come out with a series called the Solutions for the New Normal. And I'm sure if you'll go through it in our website, y'all will get various solutions to it. So I would suggest that go through it and keep your pulse there. Please understand what's there in the market, and y'all would enjoy the process. That's what I can say from my side. So yes, that's there. I think if you all have any questions for me, please type it in your message box, and I'll be happy to answer that. But without wasting much time, I will call upon my next speaker, and I would say one of my mentors in my previous past few years is Mr. K.S. Narayan. I'm sure most of us know him very, very well, who happened to be a strategic advisor and mentor for food and beverage companies, and mentor for many of us here. So he is going to take you through what are the inspirations and innovation that is happening on the online delivery model. So, Mr.
Yeah, can you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hello, hi everybody. I think good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to wherever to people who are all across the world. Welcome to this session. I have been given about 10 to 15 minutes, so I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. And I think Samita has covered a lot of what I had to say as well. So, but nevertheless, I will try and given some of the practical experiences that I've come across and share with you, which hopefully you would all benefit and gain from. And I would also love to hear back from you. So feel free to put in whatever questions that you have. Can I have the next slide, please? So as we are looking at this whole options in terms of, so the way I look at it is I will always like to take a step back, see what is happening in terms of the mega food trends. Now, over the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, there are certain mega trends which are happening, which we are seeing all across the world. I will just spend a brief moment on that. On that, I will superimpose what has COVID done to that, and hence how that is going to change. So some things are going to get accelerated, some things are going to possibly go a step back. So that then it becomes a proper frame of reference, and then move on to what is it that all as operators should do and try and benefit from the thing. Yeah, it certainly it is COVID has impacted, will impact, and continue to impact all food service industry players. So there is no two ways about it, and I think we cannot beat around the bush over there. It's certainly there, but within that, what is it that we can do to try and garner as much benefit as possible that we can deliver to the customer, and at the same time generate sales for us, because end of the day, sales is what gives in the profitability for us to pay the salaries, pay the rents, and pay for the food cost, etc. So that is very, very critical and extremely important. One thing which I will say from my, again, last 3-4 months experience, I've also not seen anything like this before. Very clearly, you need to be agile, you need to be nimble, and don't let go of any opportunity as far as it is profitable, and keeps the operation simple. So that is one message I would like to leave with all of you all. Can we have the next slide, please? Next slide. Yeah. So overall, when we look at it globally, I will say that there are 5 mega trends that is sweeping across the whole country, globe, wherever, whichever part of the world you are. What I am going to refer to here is how does it specifically impact India, and as a result, you and me, and also manufacturers and players like Custom Culinary and so on. The first mega trend is what I call entertainment. It's not entertainment, but I would call it entertainment. Purely, I think all of us have seen it last 3-4 years, particularly with the millennial generation. You first eat with your phone wherever you go, any food, whether it's at home, whether you cooked yourself, whether you go into a restaurant, anything. You just first, I think a photograph is taken, put all across social media, and then only you start consuming it with your hands. You put it into your mouth and so on. So you literally consume it with all your other senses first, and then only you start eating it. I think that's an extremely important. So this very clearly goes to show how food has to be presented. And what I mean by presentation is not only the plating as a chef would do, but also in terms of it could be packaging, it could be in terms of the appendages which go along with it, the garnishing, and so on. So it's a complete thing that you need to look at it. And what I would call as mega trend is entertainment. Just keep this at the back of your mind. We'll come back to see how COVID impacts each of them and how we need to move ahead with that. The second thing is very particular to India. I call it as we are like this only. Essentially, India is in a stage where we are possibly the oldest civilization, but with the youngest average median age of about 28, 29, 30 years or so. So a lot of what we eat have actually been inspired from what our forefathers used to do, what our grandparents used to do, what our parents used to do, and so on. So a lot of inspiration from what I would call street food, what I would call pickles, so on and so forth, which is there. Very clearly, it's the new generation. Remember now there is also entertainment. So in terms of how that food is presented, maybe you will have to, I've just shown a picture of a butta. I think who doesn't remember eating a butta on a rainy day outside, and this whole complex flavors? Can that be inspired into a snack? Can that go onto a chips? Can that go onto a popcorn? Whatever it is. So we need to try and see how these can be reimagined. So it's traditional Indian flavors, how it can be reimagined and presented. The third mega trend, what I call is the New Year resolution foods. This is something used to be every New Year we take a New Year resolution. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to lose weight. And this is something which has been going on for some time. But over the last 2-3 years, I think it's going beyond New Year's. People are now concerned of what they put into their mouth, what they are eating, more healthy food. So it can be organic, it can be clean label, it can be anything. Less fat, less sugar, less salt. Each one has his or her own criteria and what they mean as healthy for that. So for somebody, not fried is healthy. For somebody, less sugar is healthy. You can't have everything in one go, but you need to be very clear. Who's my target customer? What is it that they are looking for? And how do I present it? I think that becomes crucial. So again, remember, entertainment, anything that you present should be now healthier. And how do you present it better? And with the flavor which is there of the past. So now you see how everything really adds up comes together. The fourth mega trend has always been the what I would call international invasion. We get these flavors. I mean, every 2, 3, 4 years, yeah, you get 4, 5 years back, it was piri piri flavor which took over, swept the whole world. So you had anything and everything coming in piri piri in India. Then after that, you had the sriracha sauce. Then you had the gochujang. I mean, these things keep coming. So and in waves they keep coming. You got the wasabi. I don't think anybody in India has seen a wasabi, but that's again that flavor is getting more and more popular and building on it. So that's another important thing. So how is it that you can bring in what's latest trending abroad, but reimagine it for the Indian consumer? And the last one, but not the least, is what is called the ease meal. Ease meal is that I think each one of us are extremely happy ordering with our mobile. I think almost 70-80% of the country today is on a mobile, and almost half of that is again on a smartphone. So very clearly in terms of at the press of a button, you can get a food, you can get a meal, you can get a meal kit, you can get anything that is available. So in terms of this whole delivery, the way Swiggy and Zomato have sort of even grown and built the whole market over here. So these are 5, I will say, the largest mega trends, and this is impacting us, it's impacting the consumer sitting anywhere else in the world as well. But this more from a respect of what I would call the consumer in India. So how are you and me to react to this? and what has COVID done to build on this. The next slide, please. So very clearly post-COVID, I think most of the cinemas, whether some one plus all the restaurants, etc., had to shut down. And now we see some time back, many of them were open for delivery, and some of them now started with social distancing, etc., 25%, 50% capacity. They are slowly opening up, but really very small numbers. It's not really opened up big time. Next slide, please. So here, I think this is something where we need to look at it is in terms of, we had the mega trends which are there, but now we have to superimpose because of COVID, restaurants are shut, out of home dining is shut, there is more people all sitting at home. So there is this huge impact of what I would call digital which has happened. Now, because of digital which is there, it is going to drive food tech in a big way. And that is again coming with in terms of people have more time, so they keep looking at experimenting with cuisines, etc. There's something which they are looking at convenience. People are working from home. At the same time, they need to do their household chores. They don't have household help. So they need looking at convenience. Can you provide convenience in some manner or the other? Health, of course, everybody is concerned, worried. Samita just talked about the immunity boosters, and at least about 50 brands of immunity boosters in different forms have come into the market. Lot many more are going to come. It's the whole family at work. It's not only the women or the men who are working, but I think I would say even the children today. They have to attend to school. Sometimes the parents have to sit with the small children. Elder children are on their own. So I think it's a very different world out there, and in terms of there is something what we call an increasing digital behavior that we see happening over there. The next slide. So very clearly, I'll say the COVID impact is that both out of home and in home consumption is big. I will put the short term as 6 to 12 months and the medium to long term as anything more than 1 year. So it is this period, there is what we call a new normal. I don't think I will be right in saying A, B, C, D will happen. Uh, I think there's a lot of uncertainties, a lot of unknowns, and we have to take each day as it comes. So, I mean, some of the players whom I'm working along with, we very clearly even put together an SOP saying that if one of the employees gets COVID, then how do we react? I think we all have to be prepared for that and see to it that how we build on that. That's extremely important. So very clearly, you need to be agile, you need to be nimble. That is something which is there, because I think the way this whole pandemic is spreading, whether in India or abroad, it's again there. And again, in terms of there is no firm global models of, okay, this has happened in Hong Kong, this has happened in China, this has happened in the United States. Can we follow that? Certainly, though, there are no models. I think you and me together have to create our own model and try and build on it. So very clearly, there is going to be short-term pain in the food service. That is definite. But how do we address, and what are some simple things that we can all do and try and see how we can minimize the impact on us and still continue to generate sales? Yeah, the next one. Here, what I have done is that I have tried to share with you, I have culled out data which has come out of China. China, if you notice, started the COVID sometime in December itself. So what has happened in Jan, April? And I think that will give us some ideas in terms of what we can look at least for the short term. So if I look at Yum China, Yum China is possibly one of the world's largest restaurant chain. Even today, as we speak, they are opening one restaurant every 12 to 16 hours. That is, I mean, you can imagine almost 400 to 450 stores being opened every year. That's the size and scale with which they have. They have about 18,000 restaurants and one of the largest chains over there. So very clearly that is KFC and Pizza Hut they had. So if you see there in terms of the numbers that they are coming out from there, their delivery was about less than 20%, about somewhere between 10 and 20% was their delivery, like the equivalent of the Swiggy and Zomato. They have a player called Meituan and another player who are there, two big players. So that is where it is. That number shot up to about 45 to 50%. So again, remember, I'm talking of during COVID time when restaurant deliveries were allowed. After that, when post-April and May onwards, when the restaurants started opening up, that 40 odd figure came down to about 30 odd figure. So what has happened, as you can see, Yum China, is that there is a 15% jump in delivery sales alone. And this is a fact. So between a January and an April. So all this has happened within 3 months. Is it likely to happen in India? Answer is certainly yes. It can even be more. So that is something, provided we are geared up for this and help and deliver on that. So that is one important thing. And these are facts and numbers coming out of China. These numbers are from McKinsey China, so absolutely reliable, nothing from the WhatsApp University or so. The other important thing is clearly a reduced dine-in sales because of social distancing, seating arrangement, and all of that is a challenge. All of us are aware of that. So people like to see more compact menus, single bowl menus, combo meals, less of handling, less of buffet type stuff. So very clearly there has been a big trend. So what they are also doing is that, so every alternate seat is being occupied. So they just are able to provide a single bowl meal. And this again is a tremendously big insight for us also, in terms of, if we have menus which have got 10, 20 different items, can we combine that? Can we make it smaller? Can we make it single bowl? Can we pre-plate a thali and deliver? And so on. So I think these are things we need to look at it from a India perspective. The other important thing as far as India is concerned, no, sorry, go back. India is concerned is what we need to look at is also in terms of more higher operations and manpower costs. We've seen the whole way in terms of people have migrated back. A lot of our kitchen staff, a lot of our service staff have moved back. So very clearly for them to come back will take time. Whatever limited people are there, the operations cost is going to go up, whether it's because of health, safety, hygiene, your hygiene training, manpower, your sanitation cost, and so on. So please remember that that's a fact. It is going to happen. So even I have seen numbers of May and June, etc. The numbers are significantly higher than what it used to be the earlier. So even with lesser people, the absolute costs are going up. So this is a fact. I think each one of you should need to factor this in mind. The other important thing is the emergence of meal kits and do-it-yourself kits. With people stuck at homes, they are also possibly sick and tired of their own cooking, own food. They want variety. A lot of ingredients are not available. So how can you provide a meal kit? This can be done by, meal kits can be done by brands, by retailers. It can be done by restaurants. It can be done by QSRs. It can be done by virtually anybody. Anyone who has this kitchen setup will be able to put this whole thing together, do-it-yourself kits. Do something which, again, as I said, go back to the first chart. You look at your 5 mega trends, take inspiration, photography worthy food. How can you put that together in the form of a kit and at the same time deliver in value for money format? So that is where the challenge is, and where we can take help from people like Custom Culinary or any of these players to try and see how we can simplify operations, because remember, your manpower costs are also going up. So it's important to simplify operations as well. And last but not the least is that higher demand for food safety, transparency, healthier options, immunity boosters. I think all of it is, I would put it under the health umbrella. So whether it's in terms of clean label food, local food, hygiene, health, all of that, it becomes extremely important. And to deliver this, it's important that you build your brand around that. So today, when you talk to people, I think when anybody talks of pizza, the first thing that comes to mind is honestly Domino's, because the type of size, scale, the imagery that they have built over a period of time. But each one of us is a Domino's in our own local areas. How do we build that? Can we do it through social media? Can we do it otherwise? And that's an important thing which each one of us has to continue to build on. So branding is extremely important. The next slide. So I mean, as I said, ordering is going to grow rapidly. Even a brand like Yum China, which has got 18,000 restaurants, they have done cooking kits, a whole host of things. So I think very clearly we've seen now 5-star hotels doing it, restaurants doing it, the chai wala doing it, the work. So this is something which is the new normal, which we will have to take care of. The next one. So very clearly now, what are the opportunities that are there for the restaurants? So first and foremost, what I will say is that from my experience and from what has one very clearly signal hygiene, right from the way the customer, whether they come in for a takeaway or whether you can show videos or whatever it is, you need to show food safety from all angles, whether it is posters, gloves, people wearing gloves, PPE, open kitchen, packaging, disposable, sanitation, cleanliness, show videos. I mean, this has to become second nature. We cannot have a dirty or a unhygienic setup and then still expect to do well. So that is important, and all this has to get built into the brand. So whatever brand, we are the kings in our own local area. We need to build it through hygiene. That's important. Signal healthfulness. As we said, you integrate the food safety part, that we are doing it all in a safe manner. But at the same time, try and see how we can make the food a little more healthier. I'm not telling you to make it completely healthy and organic and all of that. Little more healthier. You've got a bread. Can you get a multigrain bread, a brown bread, a whole wheat bread, something which has got seeds and nuts, something which is so all of that. Trying to see move one step forward. That is important to reassure the customer that yes, you're making it in a healthier way, and at the same time you've got safety, food safety, hygiene behind, which is there. And I think Samita also talked about it. It's sort of everyday classics, but served in an hygienic environment. So clearly in terms of robust food, etc. But here again, try and simplify the menu. Take your top 10, 20 items, which would contribute to 70, 80% of the sale. Keep the menu simple. Cut down on the riffraff, because getting those supplies will also all be a challenge. Cut all of that, do go for it. Again, going from the China experience, look at one bowl meals, meal occasion combos, do-it-yourself kits, meal kits, etc., etc., and go all out in terms of deliveries. If you have excess people whom you want to gainfully employ, try and use them also for delivery. There are a lot of instances where I'm coming across, for instance, in Bombay or in Bangalore, etc. We have apartment delivery. So a lot of apartment complexes, they've got 100, 200, 500,000 apartment complexes, putting up a stall over there, selling. All these are proving to be new channels. Even a brand like DMart, Godrej, all of them have gotten into this, ITC and so on. Doesn't prevent us from doing all of that. So I think whether it's directly or through aggregators, go 100% all out on deliveries, because that is going to be the sustenance, at least for the short term. The next one. So very clearly, as I'm showing here, focus limited menu, keep the top sellers, remove the bottom 80% of the tail. 20-80 rule works here. Very important. Keep it simple. Good deliver value for money, which is important. The other important thing, I think Samita also talked about it, ensure items are delivery worthy. So if there are products which are going to get soggy in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, which is your delivery time, please remove it from the menu or redesign the product. So take the help of the chef and try and see how you can redesign it, make it better, or try and give two things separately, make it into a kit. Let the consumer enjoy the process of making the food. And that becomes, so that's where I'm saying, look at launching do-it-yourself meal kits. Very important. I mean, there are some pictures, etc. I've shown you. You've got a pasta, the whole thing where your boiled pasta comes in. You've got your sauce, you've got your garnishing, you've got your cheese. And let the consumer have the pleasure of mixing it and thinking that they have done it. We today even have beverages which have gone into meal kits. So you get a signature cocktail, signature beverages, put that all into bottles, serve it to them. You take whatever alcohol is required, you keep it from home, build on that. So, and similarly, there's a pizza at home to Indian food, Italian food, the work. So all of it is possible. A lot of options are available. And last but not the least, I think the last one with a picture on the extreme right I'm showing is again, this company has even gone ahead and done a Sunday kit. What is a Sunday kit? You've got cake pieces, you've got ice cream, and you've got a sauce, and you've got nuts and other garnishings. All of them coming separate, putting it together as a family option. And again, as Samita said, the experience even from China is that the average bill value has gone up at least 25%. So please keep that in mind. You have to try and put family portion. So again, if you're doing a Sunday kit, let it not be for one Sunday. Say it can deliver 3 to 4 Sundays. Put that whole thing together. So you get the economies of scale. You're able to put together a bigger pack, and then let the consumer have the enjoyment of putting it together with the family and doing it. So this sort of creates more bonding. and by doing all your safety, food safety, hygiene, etc., you'll be further be able to build on it. Last one, I just thought I'll just share with you another example of another ice cream brand. Very clearly, what they have done is that, yes, they were not able to open their parlors and do that. So they took their top 4 selling ice cream sundaes, put that into a factory made product, sealed at the factory, and now they are saying introducing takeaway Sunday tubs inspired by a bestseller. So really the top 4 ice best one converted into a sealed factory format, and they have started delivering that. So suddenly the consumer, I mean, these guys were extremely nimble. They started off, they moved into this, and they've started delivering. So consumers are saying, okay, it's untouched by hand. It's coming from a factory. Factory is ISO 9000, blah, blah, blah. All of that put together. So it helps. So I'm just saying that all these little things help in keeping your brand alive, help in conveying safety, hygiene, innovativeness. You are also on the top of the mind of the customer. Similarly, this company came out, okay, there are a lot of cakes being sold. You're celebrating Zoom parties at home. You're celebrating birthday parties at home. Why not do an ice cream cake? So this again, factory sealed, complete ice cream, 1 kilo, 2 kilos, half a kilo, big packs. Again, so very clearly taking on the thing of in terms of it's a larger pack, family this one, average bill values are up, and try and build on this. So I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts in terms of look at the overall mega trends, look at what's happening in the market, food safety, hygiene, branding, very important. Get into delivery, be agile, be nimble, look at opportunities, so how you can generate that extra rupee of sale. Because that rupee of sale, after your 30-40%, whatever food cost goes out of that, gets into paying the rentals, the manpower cost, and so on and so forth. I think that's extremely important. And with that, I would like to end my short session here. I'm around, and any questions, anything which is there, feel free to put in your questions in. Thank you very much. And
thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Narayan. Again, I would say that if anybody have any questions, please put it in the message box, and I think Mr. Narayan can answer on the message box, and we will also take it up and share the answers in the later stage also, if it is okay with everybody. Okay, thank you once again, and I now move to my next part, and we have a very interesting global perspective that is coming up from our global senior director of culinary, custom culinary, Chef Richard Relly. He's joined all the way from Chicago. I think it's really early in the morning, around 7 a.m. in the morning. And so we will hear him, and he's going to give you the global perspective. Till now, we saw from the India perspective, Mr. Narayan took us through the Asia Pacific region also, and also gave us some global. But let's see what Chef Richard had to say. Over to you, Chef Richard.
Good morning. Thank you, Samita.
Thank you. Okay.
Good morning to all of you on the call, all of operators, wherever you are on the globe, especially to my esteemed colleagues at Custom Culinary and Griffith, and also Chef Berry. Thank you very much for the invite. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a lot of common themes, no matter where we are on the globe today, that it would be an understatement to say that things have changed since COVID-19. There's elevated food safety, sanitation, menu limitations. We're now experiencing seating limitations in the U.S. as well, which all has really put a great emphasis and demand on carry-out, delivery, and off-premise. So I think we are going to see a lot of common themes across the country. Everything that I've already heard across the globe, I should say, has been very enlightening and insightful. So I appreciate the speakers also that came before me. So I think, there's new guidelines and restrictions have really put a lot of pressure on operators. And I think the last speaker said it very well, that it's time to be agile, nimble, and speed is everything right now. You have to really respond with great speed to the new norm and pivot. Because, customers, they still want the quality They still want innovation. They still want your signature flavors in their home. So we really have to figure out how to master this delivery model where we're able to deliver in-house quality through a delivery model. And I think there were some great recommendations earlier. I especially paid attention to the coating for fried chicken. When you order takeout food and you receive soggy French fries or cold or soggy or fried chicken, that's not what customers are expecting anymore. That used to be the norm with takeout and delivery. That is no longer the norm today. Customers are expecting in-house quality through a delivery model into their home. They're craving your flavors. They're craving the dishes that they've become very familiar with in your operation. So Custom Culinary and Griffith is here to help navigate through these uncertain times and provide products and solutions that will really help deliver this level of quality innovation to your customers. Next slide, please. Let's talk just briefly about optimization of offsite premise across all segments. So the last 4 months of this year, almost half of total restaurant food and beverage sales have been through takeout, delivery, and off-premise. Off-premise outpaced overall restaurant food and beverage growth in the last 3 months compared to same time last year. Third-party delivery sustained double-digit growth in the first half of this year so far. So there's a very, very strong outlook on the second half of this year as well, that the momentum will continue with takeout and delivery off-premise as well. It's going to be a continuous evolution, competition beyond restaurants. So we're competing with not only the restaurants up and down the street, but we're competing with all of these delivery companies now, not to mention retail and all these other Grubhub and companies that are delivering as well. So the competition has certainly grown tremendously. Restaurants are experiencing segment blur. Ghost kitchens are popping up everywhere, and virtual brands are popping up everywhere. So since the stay-at-home orders were initiated, restaurants added these services. Curbside pickup, 42% of restaurants added curbside pickup. 27% added delivery, and 26% added takeout. So it's certainly here to stay. It's going to have great traction, the delivery model. And it certainly is a model to really dedicate the resources to in order to really elevate that level of service and quality that customers have come to expect. Next slide, please. Customers are still more likely to order off-premise, even after the stay-at-home orders are lifted. I think the last speaker spoke about personal hygiene, safety and sanitation. That is the consumer's number one concern right now. And one thing that I want to add to that discussion as well is every restaurant operator that I work with and restaurants that I've gone into, they have taken extreme precautions to elevate food safety and personal hygiene. It's amazing what I'm seeing when I go out to restaurants. But what I'd like to challenge you with is, one thing I don't think we're doing very well is I don't think we're communicating that story to our customers. And our customers need to know, what are we doing to ensure their safety? And we're all doing it. I've never seen safety, sanitation, and personal hygiene elevated to the level that I have. I was in a restaurant over the weekend on Sunday, and I was amazed at the level of sanitation from entering the restaurant, seating, to the service staff, to using the facilities. It was quite amazing, but they didn't do a very good job of communicating that. And that's what it's going to take to get operators back into the seats of restaurants. But drive-through, 56%, takeout, 50%, delivery, 43%, and dine-in, 40%. these are going to continue far beyond the respond and recovery and rebuild phase of COVID-19. This is certainly here to stay. Next slide, please. Off-premise focus remains, and it will continue to remain. It will be a trend that will be accelerated, as I said earlier, and many of the other speakers, far beyond COVID-19. So we'll, again, the speaker before me spoke about being agile, being quick, pivoting to the new norm, recalibration of delivery models. What we're doing today is not necessarily going to be what we're doing tomorrow. We have to continue to polish and refine this delivery model as well. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. Customers want the same quality, the same innovation, the same creativity, the same delivery system that they would receive in-house in a delivery format now. Next slide, please. What does recovery look like? Well, I think, again, speakers before me said it's going to be a kind of a touch and go. We're going to have to adapt and figure this thing out together. Excuse me. Phase one will be survival and containment, or it'll be the respond, recovery, and rebuild phase. Curbside pickup will continue. Drive-through will continue. Delivery will continue to ramp up. How are you going to capture that share of those customers? It's really going to be critical how you communicate that as well. Dine-in is going to continue to be closed. In California, which is where I am, I'm not actually in Chicago, I'm in California. We are on our second lockdown now. Restaurants have had to close their restaurants down unless they have 75% of outdoor seating. So I think we're going to see, throughout the remainder of this year, we're going to see phases where we'll open. If we see a spike in, which we're seeing in the US right now, a spike in COVID cases, then the government is going to put regulations in place. So these customers had 1 week of being open before they were scaled back to limited seating. And what are they going to do to capture these sales? Hopefully, they're really driving their off-premise dine-in and takeout program as well. Do not fall back on the fact that we're going to get back to the new norm real quick here, and we're going to be able to fill every seat in the restaurant. It's not going to happen. Phase two, it'll be a tiered reopening. That's what we started in the US about 2 weeks ago, before certain states started to go back to the lockdown because of the spike. But I think in general, this is going to improve. We are going to see a strong recovery, but until then, there will be a tiered reopening as well. And then third, phase three will be a strengthening in industry recovery. And we are going to see a very strong recovery, but off-premise will still dominate through drive-through, delivery, curbside, dedicated pickup, and of course, catering as well. And stage four will be the surge. Certainly it'll be investment and growth. I think that's what we all look forward to, a recalibration of our business model, our delivery model. Chains will expand self-delivery, dedicated off-premise production grows. Next phase of ghost kitchens and virtual brands, which we're seeing a lot of these in the US right now. There's a company here called Reef, and they actually set up a ghost kitchen, and they could actually, in some cases where a restaurant may not have a facility large enough to take on delivery, off-premise, catering, they will set up a ghost kitchen and manage all of that for the restaurant, being true to the brands as well. Next slide, please. Next slide, please.
If it's changed, yeah.
Okay, yep, it did. Thank you, Samitra. So operators are not slowing down on trend watching. You know, operators are still looking for authentic, bold flavor innovation. And I think it was said earlier today as well. Customers are still looking for innovation. And operators are continuing to deliver that innovation. 43% no change in menu philosophy. 34% focused more on core and less on innovation. 23 focused more on innovation, menu philosophy post-COVID-19. So I think continue to innovate, continue to create. Customers absolutely do want your flavors, your signature dishes. They're looking for creativity. I think it was said very well by Samita that comfort food with a twist or with innovation. Just because customers aren't dining in the restaurants doesn't mean that they're still not looking for innovative, authentic, bold flavors. You know, one of the things I'd like to say is when you're delivering, enhancing your delivery and takeout program, customers want your signature dishes that they can bring home and prepare in their kitchens for their families. So when you're putting together meal kits, for example, it's a great opportunity for customers to bring your flavors home. So even as a restaurant, you may have a prepared meal, but you can also get into providing customers with kits where they can take your signature flavors home and recreate them in their kitchens for their families as well. Next slide. So COVID-19 offerings have staying power. It's not limited to, but in addition, new offerings will continue. Family-size meal, bulk meals, I think was talked about here as well. Meal kits, take home and bake. I really think this is something that we're seeing a lot of as well. Again, customers have grown accustomed to their favorite dishes, their go-to meals, their comfort food. And they'd like to be able to take those meals home and again, recreate your signature flavors. So that's really a great opportunity to put together meal kits. And it may possibly not be a completely cooked meal, but it may be a kit like you would get at the supermarket where it has your protein, it has your sauce package, it has a coating, it has a spice, it has some flavor in it. Again, customers are craving your signature dishes in their home. Next slide, please. When ordering from a restaurant, consumers cite food preparation as their top concern. Food safety, that is, it was said again many times on this call, that is customers' top priority, food safety. Next slide. So what can we do to really assist with food safety? Not only food safety, but also with many different issues that we have to deal with right now. In addition to food safety, we have to be looking at waste management. We have to be looking at labor cost. We have to be looking at reducing shrink. So single-serve condiments and condiments by request will definitely be the norm moving forward. Portion control will be huge. And Custom Culinary has really worked on delivering our signature flavors in a portion pack as well. And we'll continue seeing that. Next slide. Ethnic flavors on demand. I think that this was very much the case prior to COVID-19, but Asian and Latin flavors will continue to trend. Korean food, Chinese food, Japanese food, we'll continue to see that trend as well. Latin food as well, burgers, pizza, steak, Italian. What foods or beverages are you excited to eat at restaurants? This is what we're seeing right now. Consumers still have a love affair with flavor, excuse me, and the signature flavors that they're getting from your restaurants as well. Even though things have slowed down a bit, consumers are still dining out at a pretty fast clip and will continue to ramp up as we continue to convince them that it's safe to come out and eat in our restaurants again. Next slide. So again, pre-portioned products. Pre-portioned products really offer some great solutions as well. Product safety, reducing handling, as we call it, CCPs, critical control points. Simplicity of back of the house preparation, versatility, ready to use on-demand flavors, on-trend flavors, best-in-class product quality and flavor delivery. Also helps us with reducing waste, helps us with skill. We've all had to scale down, in many cases, the level of labor and skill in our kitchens as well. So operators, we're seeing, are really turning to authentic, true portion control flavoring as well. Next slide, please. So lastly, as I close up, we have put together an inspired carryout and delivery guide. This is available through a PDF, and I will send this to Samita as soon as we're done with the call. But we have really highlighted some of the trends, the top menu trends that are going to continue. And we've really provided insights and solutions around menuing, pickup, and delivery. Next slide. So the categories that we see that will continue to show great momentum moving throughout this COVID-19 and beyond, shareables, soups. We have put menu inspirations. We have put a lot of trend data to support this as well. The next page, please, of the carryout and delivery. Bowls continue to be extremely popular right now. And as Samita talked about regional cuisine, I was very inspired by the regional comfort cuisine of India. I'm sure bowls would be really something that would be, they're portable, they're easy, they can be sealed, it can adhere to your no-touch philosophy as well, along with handhelds as well. Again, I will make this available after the call, and it really offers some great information and some really good trends to support everything that we've been talking about here today. Next page. Comfort foods. I think that's universal everywhere you go. Just depends on what your comfort is. Comfort foods, and I like the way that Samita put it, comfort with a twist with innovation. People do tend to gravitate towards the foods that make them feel good. And most of these foods, they've come accustomed to having and ordering in your establishment as well. So I really suggest an emphasis there. And family style entrees as well. There was great discussion about that as well. So I've used up my time, and I really appreciate it, the time that you've given me. And the last thing I'd like to leave you with is be true to the food. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Chef. It was very enriching and very inspiring. Thank you so much. And sorry, I mentioned that you joined from Chicago. Sorry for that. I know you're from California. Okay, so we'll move ahead to our next, because without much waiting, and yes. So we are now going to hear from Mr. Jaspal Singh, who is the founder and chairman at Pin Baluchi. And anyway, I think we are all aware of Pin Baluchi and the great Indian food there. So we're going to hear some inspiring story that how they have experienced themselves from the dining experience to the online. So I will now put the floor to Mr. Jaspal.
Thank you very much, Ms. Burman. Good evening, everyone. I extend my sincere thanks to all my fellow restaurateurs for allowing me to present my heart on the future of restaurant business. I would like to especially thank Mr. K.S. Narayanan, Chef Richard, who has just given in detail about the new lifeline for the home delivery they have given it to me. My name is Jaspal Singh Chadda. I am a founder of chairman of JS Hospitality Group, which owns a restaurant runs in Pin Baluchi brand. I have been in the restaurant industry for last 25 years, and now the brand Pin Baluchi today has a pan-India presence with more than 45 restaurants running across the cities. As we all are aware, the situation today is very difficult. The government regulations required closing the restaurants for more than 3 months due to lockdown caused by COVID-19. Even after receiving permission from the reopening of the restaurants, the sales before the COVID-19, needless to say, the cost of operation today has also been increased, especially considering the social distance rules, requirement of limiting the occupancy in the restaurant, the constant sanitization of the premises, and the increasing the emphasis of the hygiene of both staff and customers. In conclusion, the revenue has been fallen, expenses have been increased, which has led to a big fall in the profitability. The fear in the mind of people is so high that even takeaway and delivery sales have dropped very significantly from the Swiggy and Zomato also. In spite of the World Health Organization stating that COVID-19 does not spread through food. All these factors demand innovations, which I want to propose in the webinar. With an open invitation for joint participation and progressions, I hereby lay down my vision for the future restaurant business. Firstly, there are the two things, but the, you can say, Indian industry, what we are feeling at the ground level, that I am telling you, express delivery kitchen and cloud kitchen. In very latest article of Bloomberg dated 6 July 20th, it has been discussed that cloud kitchen mode would replace the traditional restaurant business. While the taste of the restaurant food is not replaceable, many people have fear in going out of the dining outside. This gives rise to a requirement of setting up a cloud kitchen based express delivery model. In this model, people can rent out small spaces for setting up the kitchen. Tie-up can be made with the respective online deliveries companies, which would save manpower costs. Since the restaurant operates very small area, the staff required to run the place would also be reduced, with the maximum requirement of 5 to 6 people, including 2 chefs and 3 assistants. With this, local kitchen could be set up for easier deliveries, could be made at very reduced costs. You can run 4 brands with the fixed cost being significantly lower. The break-even and profitability of these deliveries kitchen is easier to achieve. Budget hotel chain like Oyo, Fab, etc. are also going for this model. I did a project for Oyo Hotel. It was a big success. I also feel big chunk of standalone restaurants will operate for this model. Ready. Second is ready to eat. That is at present we have, because it is not popular in India, but at the time of COVID-19, I feel it is required at this junction. While the above model makes easier to deliver goods, another innovations would be ready to eat food items. These products allow customer to cook their food in their own kitchen. They also feel happy that they had prepared the food, so they can forever stay connected with the brand and also enjoy the rich quality of food that the brand offers. These products have all the essential and important ingredients already mixed and are very easy to cook in the shortest possible time and cost. If offered the right taste and ingredients, these ready-to-eat products can also be a game changer in the restaurant business, as possible can eat at home what they used to eat outside the restaurant. While in my capacity of being in the restaurant business for more than 25 years, the challenge by COVID-19 is a unique one. At this time, we need to join hands and work together for the joint growth. I shall be happy assisting everyone with the developments in both the above innovations, which I have been doing from last almost 10 years now without any commercial. I sincerely thanks everyone for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chadda. Thank you. I think it was very inspiring. If there are any questions for Chef Richard as well as Mr. Chadda, you can put it into the message box, and I'm sure both of them can answer you now or in the later stage. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We'll now move to something very interesting that Chef Nitin Puri is going to talk about and is going to showcase. So here is Chef Nitin Puri from our side.
Good evening. So, till now, we have heard about the new norms, the situation which are there. First of all, good evening, good morning to people who come across from the different audience here. So thanks to you. So what we are trying to focus right now is on. There's a lot of questions about the hospitality industry, what they are facing right now, and what can be the solution. As a chef perspective, I do believe that operational efficiency also gets challenged during this. And this is where we at Griffith believe that innovative solutions should be brought in, not only for products, but also how to present it, how to take care of the operational efficiency, and what all can be done so that to ease off the operations, to ease off the problems we face at the kitchen level. And this is for that we have made few videos to showcase how can we bring in these solutions as your partner, so that the standardization, or what we talk about, the quality perspective of the food can be taken care of. So I would request Samita to take it forward into the video. Thanks.
Hello everyone, today I'll be showcasing meal solutions that is most ordered during this time.
We are not able to see the video.
It's available now.
Hello everyone, today I'll be showcasing meal solutions that is most ordered during this time. We have seen that the family portions are on the rise, and the most commonly ordered item is the chicken biryani. Now ideally, Lucknowi chicken biryani will take hours of hard work, but thanks to Custom Culinary, we will show you how to make a quick and convenient and an innovative method of making the Lucknowi chicken biryani. Now, being chefs, restaurant owners, or online delivery platforms, there are several questions that are raised in the minds. For example, how to bring in the best dining experience for the customers at their home. how to bring in standardization and quick turnaround time. Innovation is the key answer for all these questions. I'm going to showcase a Lucknowi biryani solution, which is an apt and profitable answer to all the questions in this type of new norm. So the ingredients that you need for this wonderful recipe are ginger garlic paste, fresh mint which is chopped, fried onions or barista, fresh coriander chopped, beaten curd, oil, ghee, chicken on bone, basmati rice, and the wonderful custom culinary Lucknowi biryani seasoning. I'm adding the chicken first. Next in goes the ginger garlic paste. We'll add the custom culinary Lucknowi biryani seasoning, chopped mint, chopped coriander, fried onions, curd, and oil. And now give it a nice mix. So now let's layer the biryani. So our rice is wonderfully layered on top of the marinated chicken. To give it an added flavor boost, we will sprinkle some of the custom culinary Lucknowi biryani seasoning. We'll cook this biryani for 35 to 40 minutes at 145 degrees Celsius and 80% humidification in a convection oven. You can also cook it on a stove. Quick way to make raita. We have beaten curd, we have chopped tomatoes, onion, chopped coriander, mint, and custom culinary nimbu mirchi pudina seasoning. So the easy to make and convenient version of the Lucknowi chicken biryani is ready. You can also replicate it in your home. Back.
So with this display, trying to bring in is that we are showcasing you the one-step solution for a very, very highly ordered product, which is very emotional to Indian palate, and what you call as the wholesome food is fantastic. That's how we can bring in the standardization, and what does it brings in for you is the control over the operational efficiency. I've been dealing with a lot of chefs, and the questions and the concerns I'm getting from the chefs is that do not have the right efficient manpower for that. There's another example I'm bringing in front of you, which will further highlight what we are trying to showcase it for you.
Be it self-pickup or home delivery, convenient food is what the consumers are always looking for. One such example can be the handheld combos. They are very important as that is what consumers prefer when they are at home and they want snacking between their meals. Today, I will showcase a wonderful recipe of the Mexican chicken roll with turmeric latte. You can easily add this in your menu and term it as a healthy option. The ingredients you will require: chicken thigh boneless, custom culinary Mexican chipotle seasoning, chili lime cilantro glaze, mayonnaise, custom culinary peri peri seasoning. We have some sliced bell peppers, sliced onions, and a parota. First thing first, we need to marinate the chicken. For that, we'll take the custom culinary Mexican chipotle marinade, add some oil and some water, and make a paste. The marination is now ready. We will transfer the chicken in the marination and coat it well. We'll add the custom culinary peri peri marinade in the mayonnaise and give it a nice mix. And in minutes, your peri peri mayonnaise is ready. The chili lime cilantro glaze. We have the custom culinary chili lime cilantro glaze here. I am going to add water in it. Give it a whisk. It's important that you hear this sizzle when you put the chicken on the grill. Of course, in the same pan, it will give a better flavor. So let's line up the chicken. Now comes the charred veggies. We'll top it up with some chili lime cilantro glaze and the peri peri mayonnaise. Now let's roll the roll. In today's time, it's very important to have a healthy mind and body. I'm going to show you a recipe which is a great immunity booster and it will help you to stay fit. You'll need milk and the custom culinary turmeric latte premix. Beautiful combo of the turmeric latte and the Mexican chicken roll is ready. You can also delight your customers with this wonderful combo.
So these are very small examples of what we can do, and we can be a bigger partner with all of you who are looking for solutions, because that's what we are here for. We are there to support you, and we're just waiting for your call. So I would request Samita to take over from here. Thank you, Samita. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, so we'll go quickly to the next part of it. Sorry for the technical glitches here. There is little lag of time and lag of thing. Okay. Ahead, we now have Chef Dishank Arora from Shetwala Foods, and he's also the co-founder for Nothing But Chicken. And he's going to tell you from the back-end aspect that how it is important, that's few tips that he's going to share with you, that how it is important and what is important while you venture into the delivery. So I would like Mr. Chef Dishank to come over.
I'm audible?
Yes.
Right. Thanks a lot, Samita. And hello, everyone. I'm Dishank. This COVID pandemic has compelled all the owners to create efficient and cost-effective asset and labor-light business models. This is obviously not for profitability, but for mere survival of the organization. However, like history has taught us that there is no education like adversity, and every crisis is an opportunity for those who are willing to adapt. Several successful business models will now become redundant and obsolete, and several will emerge as lucrative business models. For example, sanitizer manufacturers will now see a perennial demand for their products. The country has finally understood the importance of hygiene For example, dishwashing liquid, for example, has recorded a 450% growth in sales. So yeah, people are now more reluctant in hiring domestic helps and doing it themselves. So likewise, people are opting for efficient solutions for everything. Um, these times have actually made us realize that survival or longevity is dependent on one's ability to adapt. And entrepreneurs like us will have to break the chains of traditional mindsets and be willing to accept ideas and solutions. Another example would be a traditional South Indian household now buys branded idli and dosa batter instead of making it themselves, which is convenient and hygienic. So moving forward, what solution do we bring in with backending? I represent a company called Setwala Food Limited, and I'll just share a few pointers about our company. We are chicken processors based out of Talasri, Maharashtra, with supplies to Mumbai and Pune on a daily basis. We do around 35 tons of raw chicken processing on a daily basis. And along with the raw chicken supplies, we also do ready-to-eat products in our factory, ranging from marinated meats to sheikh kebabs, chicken nuggets, farm-breaded products, chicken tikkas, gravies, pre-packed, pre-portioned biryanis in microwavable containers straight up. So we offer customized solutions to one and all, and we also do supply pan-India. How does a backending partner really bring value to your business model? Is by efficiently reducing your labor, and since migration of this labor has caused shortages and product consistency and continuity have become a challenge. Our industry is quite labor intensive, and we can minimize your skilled labor requirement. Also with pricing due to the scale of purchases that we do, we still manage to keep our food costs in check, and we can give annual pricing and ensure stability of food costs for restaurateurs. Quality of raw material can be controlled as well, and timely execution because most products are semi or fully prepared. Prep time at your restaurant or your dark kitchen becomes quite less, and orders can be dispatched in lesser time. This allows for more business in the limited number of hours or days that we are allowed to operate during COVID. Obviously, standardization for multi-location brands. Each location will get the same range of products, taste, availability won't really vary. Also help to achieve healthier foods with fewer additives, fresher colors, aromas, and naturally bright colors. We help recreate your recipes from a processor's point of view without hampering the taste and increasing the shelf life instead. So let's say if you are already using a Griffith peri peri seasoning to marinate your chicken, we do it for you instead and pack it in a vacuum sealed bag and have it delivered to you. So also with certifications and infrastructure, your brand can market itself as a HACCP and a ISO compliant brand if the finished products are sourced from a factory like ours. This may help in sales generation in the challenging times, and with all of the above catered to, all you need to then do is focus on sales. You can check out Setwala Foods on YouTube as well, just to give you an understanding as to what our capability is. And that was about our parent company, which is Setwalas. Now about our front-end brand, front-end integration, which is nothing but chicken, our own stores. It's a retail chicken specialty store concept that we've created in Mumbai with over 20 brick and mortar stores. This started 7 years back. And I would just like to showcase this as a case study. What we serve at Nothing But Chicken is your raw, ready to cook and ready to eat products displayed in these Italian chillers for customers to choose from. And around 40 to 45 different products are on display. We are a unique concept. This is not like a cold storage, but it's a fresh chilled concept with only 2 to 3 days shelf life. So we need to be very cautious with what we are serving and how we are serving. How did we really achieve success with Nothing But Chicken, first and foremost, was obviously we had a back-end partner like Setwalas, and we get all our products delivered fresh to us daily. And also, most importantly, was by opting for products which were freezer to chiller stable, with no leaching in the products post thawing, no loss of flavors or change in texture. So the product mix was very important at Nothing But Chicken. We source our ingredients from reliable suppliers like Griffith. Quality ingredients will help us achieve products throughout. We are customers' demand and work accordingly to innovate and indulge in menu engineering for this ever evolving market as well. And the moisture control bit and product handling is a key aspect for our business at Nothing But Chicken. Being a retail store format, we give customers the choice of buying by weight also, and it can be either packed hot or cold as per customers' demand. What we use for our packaging is top seal microwavable containers, which help in ease of storage at the consumer end, which helps in quick dispensing from our end. It can be reheated in your microwave, and also it is cost effective. So one machine does it all for us. We just have one sealing machine at our outlet, and we have different size trays to pack all our products, so, which is also helps in reducing our dispensing time. So one really needs to work closely with their packaging supplier to be on top of the game and to opt for the latest packaging material best suited for your business model. You need to choose a reliable third-party logistic company also to deliver your food safely and on time with ample delivery riders on job. Not that you hire or you try to deliver yourself, because the mat just doesn't fit, and you end up maintaining your own vehicles with slower delivery times and other challenges. So we would always recommend you go in for a third-party logistics company who will do the delivery bit for you. And also with the integrated management system and your POS system, you need to have competent staff handling your POS system and taking orders, whether be it online or phone orders or handling customer complaints, which is one key element of providing seamless delivery to your customers for their home dining experience. Some are fortunately or unfortunately making the most of the situation like us. Like more people have discovered our brand during COVID, and we in fact just opened one more outlet last month. So we are just keeping ourselves motivated during this time, and we are moving forward. And I hope the same for everyone out there. So, that was all from my side, and I hope you all found this helpful. That's about it. Stay home, stay safe.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really, it was, I believe, some kind of light it did throw on the back end part also. So if anybody has any questions, please put it on the message box, and Chef is with us. He can reply on the message box, and also after the event too. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go to the last bit, but is last but not the least, as I would say. We spoke about today what the consumers think on online delivery, what are the solutions, how you should develop your menu, what is the back-end part, how you should do your packaging, what are the integrations. We threw some light on that. But it's very important, if you remember in my presentation, I said that it's very important to promote yourself. That's what today's consumers are looking for, how you digitalize your merchandising. So for that, we have Mr. Raj Joshi, who's going to take us through quickly on how to promote your brand digitally during this situation. So I would ask Raj to now take it up. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, guys. Pleasure to be present. I will not take too much of your time. Be very specific. Next slide, please. So the idea is to present very specific pointers on what should be done. In India, as it is said, or usually it is said, when you see it is when you believe it, and food is something that is first consumed with eyes before we really taste it. So that is where the entire game of digital transformation or digital communication comes in. And yes, there are a couple of things, that technology partners like Facebook, Instagram has really done, which I would really bring in over there. And why do we need it? Means, understand that if your customer is king, content is queen. So if we are not talking to them, if we are not sharing with them, if we are not creating that demand for them, if we are not going to get picked up, because people out there are reluctant. Yes, it is uncertain. I guess the entire presentation, people have been, all the panelists have been talking about how consumers are afraid, how consumers are uncertain. They don't know what needs to be done. So as brands, as restaurateurs, if we take that step forward to really communicate to them, tell them what needs to be done, and build that trust slowly and steadily, it does help. So yes, what is it that customers are looking for? We already have Domino's case studies in front of us. We all know what they've been doing. They have been marketing aggressively, where they're talking about delicious food. They're talking about safe and hygienic standard, a wide range of cuisines, immunity building and healthy food options, and contactless delivery. Next slide, please. So, so why do you need social media, or why do you need any digital presence? The reason being is, being aware in the eyes of the customers. In the times of Zomato's and Swiggy's, the loyalty has gone for a toss. But again, there are silver linings to it. If we believe the Kirana store that we never visited 2 months, 3 months ago, now we have started going to them. In earlier times, when we used to have one-to-one connection with the restaurant that was downstairs, the outlet that was in the neighborhood, that it's about rekindling that conversation with them. And trust me, if it is easier for the Kirana stores to pick up, and I believe if restaurateurs also start understanding that and start doing it even on a smaller scale, they would see a difference. And with digital, Facebook and Instagram, you can be hyper local. You can reach out to customers in 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometer radius, talk to them, and stay connected. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Abhishek.
Yes, Raj, it's changed.
Okay, I think in my screen. Okay, building loyalty. Why does it matter? It's because unless there is no trust, unless there is no correct perception, it becomes difficult for the customers to believe in. If you see a lot of brands or companies and restaurants, even a standalone company would create a presence for themselves. The reason being is, the moment you are seeing the people start looking at it, there is a difference in terms of an approach. Also, it helps them understand what the outlet is about, what is the food about, and why should I order from here. So yes, promoting new menus is one way. Numbers speak. It is a social proof. The number of people that follows you, comments you, or there are more opportunities to talk to them, get something which helps them understand and build that trust. That is the most important part. Why our brand investing is because they want to build that trust and believe that yes, this is the place where I can get my food ordered from. Next slide, please. Uh, demand is not there. So, that is where my conversation started from. To generate demand, that trust has to be built in, and to build that trust, the communication from companies and organizations and restaurateurs at a micro level also has to come in. So sharing information, new menus, delicacies leads to pull to the customers, because we are social. We need varieties of food. There are cravings that happen. That is the reason people have started experimenting at home. And as my panelist has already highlighted, that there are different ways this can be achieved. So whatever the solution or the idea is, if we are able to put that forth in front of the eyes of the customer, is when they would understand what are we trying to tell them and what are we trying to talk to them. And some way, if you are able to capture the email IDs, I believe everyone would be using some sort of CRMs or application where they would order. Even if you guys are dependent on Zomato and Swiggy, this is a more third-party platform. You can still continue using it, continue using their popularity, but building a self brand is also equally important so that you doesn't lose out on the competition, you don't lose out on your market. And when you know that you have the right solutions for your geography at the moment where people are ready to order, that is where the win-win situation is. Yes, generate pull. We have seen a lot of times where we have worked with clients creating some property which helps them understand to connect or communicate. Again, we are trying to tell them to take one step at a time. That is where a cheat day, because we are talking about a healthy food, a healthy environment, a nutrition field. So if we are able to create a cheat day, provide some offers, discount, or some delicious menu options, love the food day. Again, people are missing restaurant, they are missing the social factor. How do you do it? Family dine pack. Again, we are talking about meal kits, we are talking about DIY kits. How can we create that menu for the customer that helps them order, take the first step? Again, there are pizza days, South India days. Again, the ideas are unlimited out there, which can be tried, tested to help customer pick up the phone and call. Next slide, please. Customer service. I believe everyone is aware about this. Why social media and digital helps. It does help create a customer service. It does help create a positive impact in this time as well. If we are able to replicate a part of it, where we are able to get hold of our old customers or customers who have been ordering and asking them to put a review, it is no harm. That will only create more positive impact in for your brand and your business. Next, please. Now, this is what I was talking about. Instagram has launched directly plugins or technology where you can customer can order directly from your ads via Zomato or a Swiggy offer. It is very seamless. It helps you reach out to the customer directly, and the customer would be able to order directly from the Instagram app. It will land on to Zomato or a Swiggy platform, and your order would be complete. So Facebook and Instagram are working to help businesses strive, and it's the right time to have those opportunities being captured, leveraged, because we are catering to a set of audiences within certain geographies, and using this technology we can achieve what we intend to. Next slide, please. And yes, if you guys are really not aware, these are few numbers where 93% of consumers do admit that they look at online reviews. 84% of customers do trust reviews. If there is no presence at the moment, you can really start building it up, because this is a phase where you are learning. Audiences are more hooked on to the digital platform than never before, and it helps them. 75% of people purchases a product because they saw it on social media. These numbers are not just a number. It has been working for other brands and customers, and there has been a conversation that has been built around it. So that is how slowly and steadily it helps build the right perception in the market. Next slide, please. So how can you actually leverage social media? Again, I believe everybody in the age of digital, everybody is using or present on each social media platform. They are bit of an aware as to how can be used, but there are very specific things that can be done. Next slide, please. Geo-targeted ads. As I mentioned, hyperlocal ads. Very effective. You are able to optimize it. It actually works with a very low cost as well. You can go as low as 100 rupees to 200 rupees for each ad. Start looking at different audience group, target group, age group, and you would see some difference in terms of result, in terms of orders, in terms of perception, because customers out there are looking to have good hygienic food. Next slide, please. Google, Google business. If you guys have not created, I would recommend to have a Google Plus local business page. It helps because when customers are looking at restaurant near me, that is where things like this create the right kind of perception. If there is no website, I would create a very simple landing page where you have mentioned about your business, your product, your services, and how do you get in touch with them. This helps people in your locality to discover, because we are not moving out, but yes, we are all surfing. That is where it helps. So Google has been helping businesses as well. So it's time to leverage them. Next slide, please. Instagram stories again, something that is being used by everyone. We don't recommend to have content on an everyday basis, but some content or the other being created to ensure that customers understand what are we doing, what are the new approaches that we have implemented, how safer and hygienic are we going to serve food to you, and why are you going to order from us. So those answers, if can be shared via social media, via multiple posts, it automatically helps to kickstart your business. Next slide, please. And Instagram highlight, people do watch it, the millennials do look at it. This thing help businesses to an extent. To again, Instagram feed is more like a menu in itself. If designed well, if the content is created well, it does gives a very good impression about the offering, the businesses, and the solution that one can have. And again, how well the content can be structured. As I said, in the time of digital, if we are trying to say that customer is the king and consumers are looking out for solution, the only way to pull them is through content. If we are not creating right set of content, then we are not reaching out to them, and if we are not reaching out to them, the consideration of our business in their mind is going to be zero. Next slide, please. Reviews, as I mentioned earlier, it helps, it creates more positive impact, and the more reviews you have, Google themselves promote positive reviews when the searches happens. So focus on that. If you have not been able to build slowly, steadily, right now is the right time when you are personally interacting with the customer. Then yes, when you know that the geography is smaller, you can achieve more. Next slide, please. Here is what consumers think about, and what digital is. Use online to be always on with your customer, because it's a 24/7 online business for you. It's a 24/7 presence for them, that they can see it, explore it. So here is one slide that gives a overall outcome where you probably every businesses would have gone into hibernation for 1 month, 2 months, keeping in mind there was no understanding, there was no idea as to what is coming next. But then customers always want to see the brand, because in time of competition, if we are not present, the chances of missing out on, chances of customers missing out on the brand name and the offering is higher. And that is where a small chart that gives you that what is the awareness factor. If you are able to create one post in a week, two designs, a bit of say probably 7 to 8 to 10 content in a month, to remember and tell them, hey, we are there and we can provide you with the solution, why not? That helps. Yeah, next. Yes, this is what we have been doing for Custom Culinary for almost like a year now. We have been helping them. We are creating content. I believe you would be getting emailers and stuff. So that's it for today. 2 to 3 important things, because the panelist has covered a lot of important points. But content is queen. Do not stop communicating to your customers, because if you are stopping it, they will forget it. And in this times like this, when there is uncertainty, it is going to be difficult to revive and reignite your neighborhood and customers in the vicinity, because customers are looking at more one-to-one interaction to understand what is happening. The way kirana stores have really, started operating in full capacity. Similarly, the restaurants can, if you are creating your personal brand, it helps you survive in the market more longer. Zomato and Swiggy's are there; they are third-party platforms, but they have loyal customers to look out for menu range, but not from a brand perspective, but from an offering perspective. That's it.
Thank you, Raj. I think this would give everybody an inspiration and certain tips that how they should be promoting it. With this, we would be coming to our end of our today's session. I think we are up by 5 minutes now, but I would personally take an opportunity to thank all our speakers who've taken out their time to make this event so enrichment, and also our audience. You've been a lovely audience and you've been really patient in hearing us out. But we need a little bit for 5 minutes more from you, since we are 5 minutes up, so we will not be taking any questions. But I would encourage, and my team would also encourage you to please post your messages in the message box. We would be collecting all the messages, all the questions. We will be taking all the questions together and we will reply back to you by 14th of this month with all the queries that you are putting in. So we would request you to put your name with the question along with the question for the person whom you want to ask the question. If those two things are mentioned, it would help us and our team to collate all the questions and give you the right answers before 14th of July. We would also send you this webinar link and the videos that we've showed you, our YouTube video links, we would be sharing with you. So within the next 5 minutes, if you can share the questions. Beside this, my colleague Abhishek is sending a link. It is very important for us to understand from you what you have liked and where you think that we can improve. So this link would talk about carrying more feedback. I would request, instead of you all moving out of it, please do share your comments and feedback. And there is a surprise element in the link also. So please see to the link, ask the questions, and then please reply and give us the feedback on the link. We will be happy to take the feedback, and there will be more webinars that are coming in, and we would be happy to showcase such kind of inspirations again. So yes, thank you from my side, but we will be here for the next 10 minutes to take all your questions as well as take the answers back. It will just take less than 5 minutes to fill up the feedback form. It will just help us to serve you better in the future. Thank you so much. Abhishek, my colleague, has sent the feedback link. I would request each and everyone to please share your comments, share your thoughts there, so that it will help us to serve better. Also, again, asking you to send your questions so that by 14th, we can send you the answers to the questions along with the webinar link also.